Hey, what's up? It's been a long time, guys. So I'm just swinging back into the swing of, coming back into the swing of things, and just trying to stream since it's just been such a long time since I've streamed. I'm gonna be just chilling here and seeing if anybody pops in. If nobody pops in, then I'm just gonna be doing a little bit of work. So you know what? I'll go ahead and actually clarify that over here. Oof, my screen doesn't work. Should I just hold? Is there any point in showing the whole screen? Okay. Uh, I'm just gonna fix up my screen and just get used to all this stuff because it's just been a long time since I've done YouTube streaming. I just need a refresher right now. Okay, YouTube chat is live, but it's looking a little funny, so I want to try to fix that if I can, but can't fix it for some reason. Hey, what's up? What's up, Keshav? And just while I'm setting up, just be aware, I will be checking the chat, but I don't have a specific topic today, so I'll just be here to answer anything you have today. Right now, I'm just setting up because it's been such a long time. Something's broken with my software. It's very annoying. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. If you're here, you just ask me any questions, I'll answer them. Let's just fix the screen first of all. Where's my screen? Okay. The screen's up. So, back to chat. Where are you guys from, and how do you guys know me? Dang, it's been a long time. Yeah, I need to. Yeah, holy crap! I need to start fixing. I need to start changing this up. Okay, well, while I'm waiting, might as well do Wordle. Yeah. So, chat. What is on your mind these days? Flung, brung, glung, clump, blump, blong, stone. All right. Predicting the answer. Doing less cross-elimination helped increase your score on 70 points on the practice test. Okay, that's awesome, man. I'm really glad. I'm really glad I could help. What were you watching my Blue Book streams? I'm assuming that's where that came from, or did I give you this advice in Discord? There's only a U left, so it could be a double O. Like, but I feel like that's probably not it. The blue extremes, okay. And while I have you, I'm just gonna announce that I am planning on doing the PSATs now because I haven't done the PSAT Blue Book streams. Um, I actually don't know if I've already been exposed to the PSAT questions just through accident. I might have seen the PSAT questions by now, but I still think I should, just for completion, just to satisfy my completionist heart, I should finish off the PSAT Blue Book streams. I'll probably do at least one tomorrow. Not at least. I'll probably do one tomorrow and then probably finish off the other one in the next week or so, or maybe even just the day after. But if once I'm done with the PSAT, because right now you're scoring pretty high on 7. If you're scoring 720, I think. Frig, what was the limit for PSAT? I think the limit for PSAT is like 760 or something. I forgot. But you're already scoring pretty high, so you may or may not even want the PSAT streams. But if there's some other streams that you'd like, let me know. Dude, that'd be very annoying, blood. You know what? Why not? You only leave. Okay, there we go. I got screwed. I actually don't know if this O means that there's a second O. Is there supposed to be a second O? That's kind of annoying. All right. But there's no L, dude. Wow, that's like... Man, what am I... Like, goopy? What? Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna go for anything now. Oh my god, I cannot believe I got that. What? Okay. I guess that yellow on the second O means that there was supposed to be a second O somewhere else. It's wild. Kind of annoying, but I got 4 out of 6. That's like fine. If you have no other practice tests that you want me to stream, let me know what your journey is and when you are gonna take the test. It seems like you're probably gonna take the test in November. So tell me about your goal and what you're gonna do. Oh no, no, I can't do those. Those are not supposed to be online. They just are, but look at how unlucky I got. 35 out of 99 luck. Whereas I got 96 out of 100 skill. But I did better than the New York Times average, so that's pretty good. All right. Chair solid. Stone solid. Blood was a shit choice. Oh, not a shit choice. Interesting. Huh. Surprising. I kind of thought I was just sort of... I thought I was kind of just making that up out of... Okay, apparently they didn't think it was a shit choice. All right. Dude, I haven't done this in so long. Holy crap. Wordle. Taking the November test. Yeah, and you have a goal? Alexandrina. Long time. How is, was it American University in Bulgaria? Something like that? I forgot where you are. Something like that, right? I'm like, how far off am I? Good to see you here, though. Again, it's been a long time. Beret. A jacket. Pages. Nope. Haze. Purple. Purple rain. Purple haze. Purple. Purple heart. Purple. Purple prose. Give it to me. Hell yeah. I can't believe I got the purple first, of all things. But Purple Haze and Purple Heart. Purple Haze is a very famous Jimi Hendrix song. Purple Rain is a very famous meme song. Purple Heart is a medal that you give to people who are wounded for the U.S. military. And Purple Prose is for obtuse, like overwrought writing. So, crazy. 100% accurate. That was impressive. Okay, well, good. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm glad. I think you must be in your. Well, it's. I don't know if if it's an American university. I mean, it's in the name. So I guess you're on the American schedule. So you're a sophomore now. Are you in your second year? Keshav, you actually can share your school report, and I can help you. I can give you feedback. Obviously, you'll have to type it out. If you don't want to type it out. As of now, although I am thinking of changing the perks for my subscriptions, but as of now, if you are a YouTube member, then you can actually screen share to the channel. But if you don't want to screen share to the channel, or if you're not a YouTube member, then you can just type it out, and I'll chat with you. Sophomore and. Alexandrino, what are you studying these days? So you're a coder. I'm assuming you're still doing comp sci stuff. So catch me up. Hobgoblin, hob. Okay, hob is not it. Green Goblin, green. Wait, Yellow Moon, Yellow Pages, Yellow. Wait, Green Goblin, Green Beret, Green. Salad greens? No, that's no way, right? They can't do this whole thing out of colors, can they? But there's yellow pages, right? Yellow journalism, yellow pages, yellow jacket. Yellow jacket? Isn't yellow jacket like a type of insect? Am I tripping? I think yellow jacket is an insect. I think it's like a bee. Yellow jay. Yellow beret, yellow cab, yellow pages, yellow jacket, yellow journalism. Oh, this is all colors. Oh, okay. Green, blue moon, blue jay, blue jeans, and blue whale. Okay. And then green goblin, green salad, green thumb, green beret. I know everything other than yellow jacket was like a 60% confident guess, and everything else I was pretty sure of. But then green thumb. What is a green thumb? Green thumb. I mean, Alexandrina, you're very active in the server, so it's easy to remember you. I don't remember everyone like that. I actually have terrible memory, but you are very active, and you're very helpful. You're a very helpful and supportive presence in the servers. So, of course, I remember. What is a green thumb? I'm trying to guess. Keshav, I can't tell. Are you still gonna share the data here with us? With me? Let's see. You know what? I can't guess. So let's just see what happens. Okay. What the heck is a green thumb? The ability to make plants grow. I did not know that. Just learned this. Apparently it's North American English. I had no idea. How do I develop a green thumb? R gardening. Okay. Oh, dude, those are some insane majors. Comp sci, information systems, minor in math. Okay. That's yeah. Yeah. Oh, you shared a score report in Discord. Okay. I'll come back to that in a second then. But dang, that's a really intense school study program, by the way. So comp sci, information systems, and minor in math. So it seems like is your plan to go to America after this? Do you want to go to like honestly, if you want to make money, you want to make U.S. dollars. Uh, U.S. dollars gives you the most options, not just like in terms of financially, but also in terms of careers. Makes it easy when you have American background. Oh, okay. So Keshav was already a germ in the server. Okay, I didn't know that. Let's see. Oh, I totally forgot. Oh, I have to like download it. Okay, well, I'll download it, and then I'll open it in. Let me open it here in Chrome. There we go. Okay, let's go. So, wait, I finished connections. There we go. I was just responding to Alexandrina, but now I'm checking out Keshav. You got your score just a couple days ago. Good job, by the way, on completing the October SAT. Also, while I have you here, can you explain like your journey? Like, which number SAT is this? Is the first one? Oh no, it's a practice. It's SAT practice. Oh, okay. Yeah, which explains the date. I was like, that's like a weird date for. Okay, so this is just the practice. Keshav, you've never taken the real SAT yet. This is your first time. Meanwhile, let me just look through this. Math is solid. You got 3 wrong in math. This is Blue Book 5. Blue Book 5, you got 10 wrong. You got 10 wrong on the reading writing, and you got none of them wrong in, or presumably none, maybe one wrong, but mostly, yeah, mostly correct or almost all correct on standard English conventions, craft and structure. But your transitions and your synthesis are not good. Okay, so that's not good. Transitions and synthesis should be high priority. And so expression of ideas is only 2 types of questions. The first type of question is transitions. Transitions like however, therefore, whatever. And synthesis, which is the student took some notes and the student wants to emphasize or compare or whatever, right? So those are the expression ideas questions, and if you're getting like 3, 4 wrong here, maybe two wrong here, that means there's some. That could mean one of 2 things generally. If I don't know any more details, it might mean that you're just not managing your time well and you're just rushing at the end. Okay. Or it would normally mean that you are bad at breaking down the structure of a passage, but if you were bad at breaking down the structure of a passage, then you should also be struggling on standard. Oh, sorry. You should also be struggling on craft and structure. But if you're not bad at breaking down the structure of a passage, then your craft and structure should. Sorry. If you're bad, this should be down. But because you're not bad, I'm gonna guess you're just sort of rushing at the end. Or maybe you're sort of underestimating how hard the transition questions are and you're not really reading the full passage. But if you watch how I solve the test, I never, I do things that, like if you watch like YouTubers or tutors, they always talk about like, oh, don't waste time. You're wasting time because you're doing this and this and that. But actually somebody who's trying to get an 800, if you watch me, I'm doing all the things they're telling me not to do. Do you know why? It's because they have hindsight. They know how to save time on those specific questions because they know what the answer is already. But for me, I don't know what the answer is. Not only that, I actually don't even know how hard a question is until I actually finish solving it. Does that make sense? Because I don't know how hard a question is until I finish solving it, it means that I'm fundamentally approaching every question as if it could be hard. Because I'm approaching every question as if it could be hard, I am quote unquote wasting time on these questions if you actually watch a video of me. So then if you literally just showed me solve, like if you showed a video of me solving questions to some of these other tutors with their tips and tricks, and you didn't show them my score, you just showed them how I was solving the thing, they would probably criticize how I'm solving it because I'm actually wasting time. I'm not skipping the passage. I'm not just skipping to the questions. I'm not just skipping to the answers. I'm not doing these like little tips and tricks. I'm actually just reading the damn thing, right? So, uh, so who's right? Well, actually, both can be right. I mean, I can be right and they can be right. It's just that their tips and tricks are more geared towards people scoring 650 or below. Whereas I'm not trying to score 650 or below. I'm trying to score 800. And for a person who's trying to score 800, there's for a person who's scoring in the who's trying to get like a 650, which resource is more valuable? Time or confidence? For them, time is actually kind of more valuable. Just spreading the time out better is a better approach because you don't want someone who's getting a 620 spending like 3 minutes on a hard question. It's just ridiculous, right? So you want to just give them any sort of structure to just speed up, just so that they can have their eyeballs on all the questions, right? But for me, time is not the scarce resource. The more valuable resource for me is confidence. And I want to be it's not good enough to be 90% confident on all of the questions. I need to be 100% confident on 26 out of 27 questions and then 80% confident on one question. Something like that, right? Like I can't have 90% confidence all the time, which means because I'm trying to get 800, right? So in that situation, it's not merely about time now. It's about increasing confidence. And you can't have 100% confidence. You can have 90% confidence, but you can't have 100% confidence when you're skipping sentences and stuff like that. So the expression of ideas, if you're making those mistakes, it's probably because you're not. Yeah. Okay. See, you're forcing yourself into like an artificial hole with 30 seconds. No, actually, if you watch me solve transition questions, some of them are shockingly easy. So what happens is that they're shockingly easy. I read the whole passage, but then I notice, holy crap, that was easy. I probably wasted like 5-10 seconds. But we're literally talking about 5-10 seconds here. We're not talking about 3 minutes here. We're not talking about even 1 minute here. We're talking about 5-10 seconds, dude. Like 5-10 seconds, or maybe 15 seconds, I don't know, because like the passage is 4 sentences when really you only need to read 2 sentences, right? But the difference between reading only 4 sentences versus 4 out of 4 sentences is literally like 15 seconds difference in terms of time. But you know what the difference is in terms of confidence? The confidence difference is 90% confidence or 80% confidence versus 100% confidence. I would rather spend 15 more seconds to take my 80% confidence, 100% confidence, rather than gamble by saving these like stupid 10 seconds, 15 seconds on these easy questions. So that's the part of the conversation that never gets brought up with these tips and tricks. Anyway, that was kind of a longer rant than I expected, but anyway, that just kind of came flowing out of me. Back to Alexandrina, I think you probably should, try to get I mean, dude, if you're an engineer, if you can, obviously international students, depending on who's in the government and whatnot, it can be kind of hard to get into an American school and then also to get into like an American school with financial aid and then also get like a visa afterwards. It could be completely unrealistic for your time, your family, your situation. But if it is possible, especially if you're doing something that is high income earning, I would recommend, starting out your career there if you can. Especially if you speak English, it really helps if you can speak English, dude. You just make it. America has a lot of faults, but if you can build out a career there, it's very good for you. Anyway, that's my little comment on expression of ideas. Information and ideas. This is, I honestly think, you actually, if you're a 720, this is like an amazing performance, and you should actually try to, for like October SAT is coming up in like 10 days. Sorry, October. November SAT is coming up in like 10 days. Dude, I think this is perfectly fine. You just leave this. Don't even try to improve information ideas in 10 days. Just focus on overall, like having the right approach for the entire test, right? And making sure to regularize your approach so that you can always keep your information ideas at this level, and then max out on all these ones. Now, obviously, it's not within your control always, but I think in terms of results, this is information ideas with 1 bar missing is a great result for somebody who's trying to get like a 750, 760. Especially tracking the time, yeah. I mean, if you share it with the Discord, I'm sure there's some data nerds in our Discord server who would definitely vibe with that. So, yeah. I mean, if it helps, it helps. I think more than anything, some people don't even realize that they can do that kind of thing. So if you share it and say, "Hey, this is the way I've been tracking my time. So if you wanna use my template or whatever, and then share it like that," I think some people. Obviously, my Discord server is not a massive Discord server, but you might get like 1 or 2 people who really appreciate that. So, and I would appreciate it that you're just helping other people out. So, Keshav, yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's my initial reaction to this. Expression ideas, don't artificially force yourself into, especially because the College Board has gotten a little creative and they're kind of changing some of the question types and whatnot with their real tests without letting us know. Because that's actually happening, I think you can't go into a question assuming you know how easy it is. You don't know how easy it is. A grammar question could be really a hard question, right? Like the quotation evidence questions could be a really hard question. You never know. You never know. You have to go into it with an approach that is flexibly, it's adaptive to any difficulty for a given question. So the way I do it is I just read the passage. I have no bias about how hard or easy the question will be. I just read the passage. That said, sometimes I cheat my own process by when I have an initial prediction, like if I have like a halfway prediction for a correct answer in my head, I will sometimes jump to A, B, C, D to just see if I can shortcut it. But I don't try to do this often. I only do this, like it's like a gut feeling that develops over time. It's not something I really recommend for beginners. But yeah, I do cheat my own system every once in a while. But generally speaking, when I don't cheat it, I'm just reading the passage with no bias about how easy or hard the question is. If anything, I'm ready for the question to be kind of hard. I read the question, I make a prediction, then I match. Yeah, so if you can just stay consistent with that, that'd be really good for you, I think. I wonder if there's like some way to encourage, because I noticed there was like a third person that popped in, but I wonder if there's like a way I could like encourage, because without me actually like staring at the number the whole time, if I can encourage like a person to just chat, but whatever. A spice that tastes like licorice. I think that's anise. Hot drink popular in the fall. Hot toddy. Choco. Hot choco. Bendy body parts. Okay, I don't know. Ligaments, tendon, bird, blue pigment, jay, a jay, apple pie, a la mode, cutesy a g h. Oh, maybe k. Hang on. Knees. Okay, I see. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, so now this is all incorrect. Choco is definitely incorrect. Best possible. Ideal. Okay. Peace. See ya. Hospital areas. ERs? cider. Okay, there we go. Oops, I accidentally hit it. Oh, no, I can't share this stupid thing because, okay, there's no button for sharing on mini crossword. So annoying. Okay. Switch it up. Hang on, let's see. I recommend experimenting before the real test. So, if you're not taking the test right now, no, you are taking the test, but you have 10 days to try experimenting with your approach. So yeah, I would actually, honestly, for somebody trying to score 760, I would already recommend you to just go from question 1 through 27 in that order. And the reason is that I know that starting with the writing can be more what do you call it? It's psychologically it feels less demanding when you start with the writing. And by the way, welcome viewers to the stream. If you're here, you can just shoot me any questions. I'll swing around to you at some point. But going back to Keshav, honestly, if you're scoring consistently like above 700, and you have ambitions for higher, like you want to get closer and closer to 800, and maybe even November is not even your last test date, you're willing to take it again in December or March or whatever, I recommend actually starting at question 1 and going through question 27 and testing your ability to actually manage your time. Now, I actually don't like the word time management. I do not like that word. I just use it because that's what everyone calls it. I'll come back around to that comment in a second. But I recommend that you improve your ability to manage the time such that you always have time to go back to some hard questions, okay? Now, how is it possible that you can always have time for hard questions at the end? It just means you have to minimize the time spent on questions that you realize are hard, okay? This is kind of the flip side of what I was talking about earlier. I said earlier in my previous piece of advice, you should never go into a question assuming the difficulty of the question because you actually never know how hard a question is until you've actually tried solving it. But the flip side or the corollary of this is once you have tried solving it, now you need to really be smart about how you invest additional time into this question. If the question, after you have tried the initial read, the initial prediction, the initial match, and maybe even the initial process elimination, if you've tried it once and you have now collected quite a bit of data, and by this point, if you've only done, and let's even on some of the hardest questions, if you've done a read, a predict, a match, and a process elimination, you should still be under 2 minutes at this point, okay? Now the question is, should I spend 15 more seconds, 30 more seconds, 45 more seconds? Now, you're not actually going to be thinking in terms of seconds like that in real time, unless you're just like a numbers freak. But you better have a gut feeling that tells you, is this worth it or not worth it, right? But most kids turn that part of their brain off because they get fragile. They get offended even. It's like, oh my God, this is one of those tests. This is one of the hard questions, and it's making me feel uncomfortable. Therefore, I have to just burn more time on it until I'm not comfortable, right? They become desperate, and how accurately does that describe you, right? The moment you realize it's a hard question, your immediate instinct is to spend more time on it so that you feel comfortable with yourself. Well, if that is you, then you're doing it all wrong. And that's why you never have time left at the end. And that's why, because you never have time left at the end, that's why you're tempted to start at question 15. Because you think that you can never solve this problem of managing your own time. And because you actually assume that you can't solve that problem, you actually never get better at solving that problem. You're just working around that problem. You're not actually addressing the problem itself. So, again, I recommend starting at question 1, going through to question 27, actually addressing that problem. Learn to move on from hard questions. Don't learn to manage that feeling that comes when you realize that a question is hard, and then be brave. Be like, holy shit, this question's hard. Instead of succumbing to this sort of panicky, desperation-y, insecure desire to just burn more time on it and hope that things get better, be brave and be like, you know what? I'm just gonna not spend time on it and move on. Because I believe, even though I don't feel it right now, what I feel is fear and I feel panic. I know that if I just move on, then I will be able to come back to this later, right? And that actually requires, I mean, not bravery in terms of like, you're not gonna, no one's gonna die, but it requires bravery in terms of mastering your emotions. Okay, so improve that. If you can improve that on the SAT, you can actually improve that on many areas of your life. Malin, I kind of missed you earlier, so let me come back to you. 760, bro. That is a 150-point jump. Holy shit, that is huge. Man, that is definitely all you, and I'm really happy that you could improve your score so much. Wow, your process was to do the paper SAT exams and to watch me read stories. Dude, how actually, Malin, do you mind describing your journey in more detail? I feel like we, you know what, if you write it here, I think it'd be good to then just like copy and paste it into a Discord server, and with your permission, I'll actually paste it here. But yeah, I'm actually just curious. What is your here? Where did people share? Some people are sharing their journeys here. I wonder if I should just straight up have a how I did it channel. Yeah, some people, you'd have to scroll up now, but there's some people, and then we have a star board system where if you get enough stars, it just gets pinned. But anyway, yeah, if you could share a little bit more detail of how, like, the beginning and the middle and the end of that process, I mean, that'd be awesome. I think that'd be very encouraging and helpful for people who are watching, and if you want some YouTube likes, then you could put it as a comment, and I'll pin it to this. I'll pin the comment as well. But yeah, that's crazy. Bennett, Rwanda, welcome. 800, 600s, December SAT, 2 weeks. Okay, so you want to get to an Ivy, you want to have a perfect English, you got a 600. So I'm gonna guess, let's see. So Bennett, I'm gonna make assumptions about you because because your goal is very, very high compared to what you're currently getting, and my advice depends on who you are and some other facts around you that you haven't really shared with me. Okay, so I'm gonna make some assumptions now. The faster you correct my assumptions, the more accurate I can give feedback to you. But for now, I'm going to give my feedback to Bennett Prime, where Bennett Prime is just my assumed version, my sort of my model of who you are, okay? So please correct my assumptions as quickly as possible. But here are my assumptions. You are at the top or near the top of your class at school, and you are attending a school that is primarily teaching American curriculum. You either have American, what do you call it? You're taking American courses, including AP courses, and so you understand American like history to some extent, and American English and idioms. You also do consume American or Americanized content, right? When I say content, it could just be TikTok or YouTube or Reddit or Twitter or whatever, but you know how Americans talk, and and you have like American or Americanized friends. So for you, you just took you got the 600. Hang on, what grade are you now? Yeah, I don't know your grade. Actually, you just tell me your grade since you're responding very quickly. But if you're, I can't tell. Yeah, I can't. From this, I can't tell if you're young or not. But it seems like you're not young. It seems like you're probably already a senior, or maybe a junior. Oh, dude. Okay. Oh, now that's late. Oh, geez. um, okay, that changes a lot. Okay, I have a whole rant about this. I tell kids that they are not the average of the statistics about people that describe them. Okay, you are not the average of the statistics that describes you. You're not the average of American school Rwandans who are born to certain upper middle class or whatever. You're not the average of that. Okay. But the problem is that I don't know you, so I have to go off of averages. So I'm gonna say more likely than there's a chance that you're aiming too high if you're aiming for 800 and you're a senior already and you haven't even hit 750 or anything like that yet. So you're probably aiming too high because I don't think people realize that the journey from 650 to 750 is relatively predictable. The journey from 750 to 800, this is old device now. Because of digital SATs, things have gotten kind of random, okay? It feels a little random now, so I'll actually tweak it. The journey from 650 to 720 is more or less predictable. The journey from 720 to 800 is quite unpredictable and requires a lot more effort. I don't know if anyone here who's like kind of interested in computer science has heard this kind of or like industrial processes has ever heard this, but there's a phrase in project management for software: the last 10% is 90% of the effort. The last 10% of a project is 90% of the effort. And going from 750 to 800 on the paper SAT and now 720 to 800 on the digital SAT, that is like a level of complexity that is one order above everything else. Okay, and the reason is because now it's no longer about learning one skill at a time. It's learning to combine all of them and mix and match them in real time, which is like this wild. It's like this wild skill, it's like a whole set of skills that like kind of has to combine together and work together in lockstep. So if you're not really hitting the if you're not consistently at 700, 720, I would actually first aim to hit 720 consistently at least, right? 800 is like this. It's like a different goal. So start there, and then. When people are actually that actually answers the first question. When people who are trying to get an 800, when people want to get an 800, the problem that they generally fall into is they start hyperanalyzing practice tests. But actually, before 720, you don't only need to use practice tests. You can get a lot. You can get a big jump just from improving, like your base knowledge. Like if you're getting 600s, right? Like somewhere between 620 and 660, then you're probably still making a lot of grammar mistakes, literally because you don't know. You don't know grammar. You don't know dangling modifiers, and you're still tricked by subject-verb agreement, even though you know subject-verb agreement. Even though you know subject-verb agreement, you haven't seen subject-verb agreement questions that were really hard. So when you see them on the SAT, you don't even realize it's a subject-verb agreement question. Stuff like that. There's some really basic things that you just need to learn. And so if you learn that stuff, then you're going to have a solid platform to get that 720. There's subject verb. There's also transitions. So learning all the transition words, however, nevertheless, and seeing how those are used differently. You can even use ChatGPT to help you. Hey, give me like 10 example sentences using the word therefore, example passages using the word therefore, example passages using blah blah blah. Right? Just like get yourself familiar. Look up the examples. Look up the examples on Merriam-Webster. Here. To that end, let's just drop this one because a lot of kids forget this one. You know, a lot of kids don't even know to that end, to this end, right? Now, oftentimes it's used as an adverb, like at the end of a sentence. Now here it's at the beginning of that sentence. So it'll help. It'll help here, and here it's being used with it's being used together with a but. So this doesn't look exactly like the College Board, but you'll get a sense of how it feels and what it sounds like just by looking at look at all these example sentences. That's a lot of example sentences, right? So look through those example sentences, then look through ChatGPT. Like do some of the basic lifting. You know what I mean? Like when you're training for soccer, you're not only playing matches all the time, right? You're doing like little mini matches with like 3 defenders and 2 attackers, right? And you're doing little drills. You're doing passing patterns and stuff like that, right? So don't go straight into practice test all the time. Use the practice test as a way to measure your progress. Okay, that's like the actual soccer game, the soccer match. But also do a bunch of drills and learn the grammar, the transitions, the really basic stuff, okay? Really make sure those are locked down, that you're not making mistakes just merely because you just don't know the thing, right? If you don't know the thing, just like learn the thing. And what resources are people using? I mean, most people are using Erica Meltzer, which, you know, has flaws, but it's just like there's been no publisher that's been motivated enough to write one better than Erica Meltzer. So Erica Meltzer is the best of the offerings, apparently. People use Erica Meltzer. People use, and obviously Khan Academy because that's free. If you're resourceful and you know how to use ChatGPT to your advantage, and you can use it to self-study as well to some extent. There's Ludwig. If you're good with, if you know, this Ludwig is like a, I'm not gonna sell Ludwig to you. I'm no longer even paying for it, but it's pretty useful for just like learning to write better. Although ChatGPT might overtake Ludwig now that it's getting so much better. But you know, just use the resources that are available for you. If anybody else has recommendations, resource recommendations for Bennett, then it might be helpful. Not just to Bennett, but to everyone else that's watching. By the way, welcome. I see that there's 9 people watching now. So hey guys, just say hi. Let me know where you're from, what your scores were, what your goals are, what your journey is. And if you have any questions, let me know what's on your mind. Oh, UWorld is also pretty frequently. Thank you, Keshav. Yes, a lot of people mention UWorld as well for reading, writing. I probably think after I do the PSAT, the UWorld is probably the first resource I should review for my review series on YouTube/TikTok. I don't really have a TikTok account yet. I mean, I do, but nothing's really on it. But I think I'm going to start getting serious about short form videos now. All right, Bennett, good luck. Same Rainbows, what's up? Malin, yeah, Russian lit, dude. Russian lit's great, dude. It's also because it's psychological, but also you kind of learn the history of Russia or similar histories, right? Whenever you're learning world history, you know, you kind of understand the dynamics of like landed aristocracy and all this stuff. Yeah, like Russian lit is such a good way to get into serious lit if you are if you're improving your language abilities, just because it's not too artsy fartsy. It's really just a lot of it is pretty psychological and pretty socially oriented, and these are things that you can kind of sink your teeth in because you're learning about psychology and society at school, right? Like literally through the textbooks, but also you're literally just by living it, right? By experiencing psychological and societal issues in your life, right? So Russian lit's great. It's a great place. It's how I got. Honestly, I loved Russian literature when I was your age. I still love it. Just don't read as much. 6:30 English, bizarre potato. So cooked. I mean, if a potato isn't cooked, I don't really want it. But let me know. Let me know what test are you gonna take? Are you gonna take the November test? What's your score? What's your goal? On the road. Is this campaign? Okay, guys, welcome to the stream. Right now, I'm just sort of waiting because I already replied to everybody. If you guys have any questions, shoot them into chat. I already did Trump. Amit, long time. Wait, there's so many Amits. It's actually, I don't know if this Amit. Do I know you? do I, I'm not sure if I know you. Recuse is a great word. Weird questions. As long as they're not leaked questions, then I'm happy to solve those questions. But I will not solve leaked questions. So, I mean, it kind of pisses me off that the College Board is just sort of like changing the questions and not really reflecting the changes in Blue Book, which makes it feel like then the advantage that goes to kids who are getting their hands onto lead questions is like outsized, right? Because now, everyone else, all the honest kids are only relying on the Blue Book questions and then the really shitty third-party questions. and then the kids who somehow have access are getting the lead questions, and it's like opening their minds to the possibility, like, dude, what the hell? Like, bro, College Board, if you don't want kids to, like, give us enough resources, right, to just study. And I continue to believe that the College Board should just offer fewer tests per year and just release more questions, right? The fundamental problem of all this is that they're trying to offer tests too many times a year. Now, I understand why they kind of probably need to offer so many tests. First of all, they've probably already developed all this infrastructure with all these schools around the entire globe, by the way. It's not just America, right? It's everywhere in the world, almost everywhere in the world. So, they have all these schools all over the world, and every time they offer a test, they make money, and they need money to survive and stuff like that. So for them, they're incentivized to offer the test as many times as possible. But if they're not giving enough material to study for the thing, and people are going to study for the thing, by the way, they're not just because you don't give material, people aren't going to suddenly stop studying. That's ridiculous. And you're trying to get tricky, right? You're trying to make I think Amit was saying, no, Keshav was saying, who was saying it? Somebody was saying it, somebody was saying that they're trying to make the test, Keshav was saying that they're trying to make the test less predictable. Okay, which is fine. But you're not offering the resources to actually study for the thing, right? Then you're just gonna then the people who cheat get a larger advantage from cheating than the people than a different world, right? In a different world, they do offer resources and they do kind of set you up for the SAT because you're going to study anyway, right? Uh, in that situation, the marginal benefit for cheating is actually like smaller. You don't really benefit as much, right? So, just and yeah, it's just stupid. I piss me off. I mean I don't want it to go full like old school Europe or Korea or China or Japan or wherever where you literally only get the SAT once a year. I think that's also a little too. I think that's psychologically too damaging for some kids, especially your generations. You know what I mean? But like once a year is maybe too much. It's just too crazy. But maybe twice or three times a year is fine. All right, and then just make more tests, and make more questions rather. Obviously, less tests. Just develop more questions and make it hard too. Make it really hard. Don't make it like the digital SAT is too easy. It pisses me off. like like actually make it hard so that people who are literal geniuses can show that they're geniuses, right? Like you're not just be back in the day. If you got a 1600, you're basically a genius. Now you can still. I mean, you're still close to a genius if you're getting a 1600, but it's so much more gameable because the questions are easier. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, what's happening to standards, dude? Just like let normalize getting a 1400. Getting a 1400 was actually pretty smart. You know, we want to normalize that instead of just inflating these stupid numbers now. Anyway, all this to say, yes, I'm okay with you. I'm okay with solving or helping solve a question on stream as long as it's not a leaked question. On the road, I feel like on the road has something to do with the campaign, but I still can't. All right, this requires too many brain cells. Okay, back to the chat. Keshav, I just noticed your whole thing about the people on Reddit panicking. I mean, I didn't really notice this time. My life was poorly timed for the October SAT. I got a little busy, so I kind of missed the October SAT shenanigans. But there's always some panic, and I think a lot of it is just people trying to come up with reasons for, trying to come up with valid reasons for why they could score so much lower, but forgetting that on the real test, you're much more likely to panic. And some kids don't even know they're panicking. So if you ask them at the end of a test, how did you do? They don't even know what data to draw on to decide whether they did well or not. And if there's one thing that my YouTube, that I hope that my YouTube does, the streams of me solving the thing, if there's one thing that I hope it does for you, it is that you learn that actually you are making a lot of little decisions. And those decisions are not the same as my decisions. And maybe your decisions are right for you, but as long as you're aware of the decisions that you're making, that's already a huge win. A lot of kids, right? You guys are the weirdos because you guys are the freaks that go on YouTube and look it up, right? Like how many kids are actually doing that out of everybody that you know, right? Most people don't even know what decisions they're making on the test. Like they don't even know that when they were in 7th grade, when they were like 13 or whatever, some teacher taught them, hey, don't read the passage, just read the question, look for these keywords, and then identify synonyms of those keywords in the passage. And they learned this it's like 7 years ago or whatever. That's bad math, like 4 or 5 years ago or whatever. And they're doing it automatically, but they don't even know that they're doing it. They're not even thinking about the fact that they're doing it. So they can't even judge, like they can't judge whether they took the test well or not because they don't have everything is just like they just do it. They don't know what they're doing. They're just doing it. It's just done, right? You ask them how it went. It's like, oh yeah, it was fine. Oh, it was kind of hard. They don't really have anything to say. So if there's one thing my YouTube does for you, I hope it's just to make you aware of the decisions that you're making. Now, Partners is asking a pretty developed question, so let me process this really quickly. $680, 7 mistakes, 10 days ago, 2 mistakes, module 1. Notes. Vocabulary, reading. Okay, Partner sounds like he's doing the same strategy that earlier I was talking about with Keshev, maybe? Yeah. I kind of already said this. Now, you might have a different problem, but as far as I can tell, you have probably the same problem that Keshev has. Also, the other thing I don't know about you right now is Partners. Have you watched my streams? And can you tell me if you have watched my streams, what did you learn from my streams that you started applying to your test taking? Because I need to know how familiar you are with my ideas. So I'm going to wait, Partners, before I say anything, but just let me know what you learned from my streams and what you started applying and how well that worked out for you. Or maybe it didn't work out for you at all. Maybe you tried something that you saw on my stream and it didn't work. And so I want to know what that was. Hard question from New World on Discord. Okay, let me look. Oh, there's a bunch of, okay. Okay. Brain power. Okay, you know what, guys? I do have a meeting in 15 minutes, so I'm going to head out soon. So I'll try to do Keshev's first, because Ahmed, I didn't realize you were messaging me. Okay, so Keshev, I'm going to do this one. If it's quick, I'll do the other one, but if it's not, I'm going to have to go soon, okay? Here we go. Joseph Conrad. Here, let me actually open this so I can zoom in and out. So, guys, this question is about how Verloc responds to Vladimir. Now, actually, I don't usually read the question in advance, but whatever, okay? I just did it. It's in my head. How does Verloc respond to Vladimir? Now, for me, when I'm reading something with like actual characters, the main thing that I start with is I try to thread the characters to the blurb. And a lot of you are literally not even reading the blurb, okay? For me, from the blurb, I noticed there's 1907. Okay, so I'm kind of ready for what kind of language is about to come out because of this word 1907. I even know a little bit about Joseph Conrad, but you don't need to know about that. It says political, so that kind of helps me a little bit, I guess. But this is not something that the College Board actually does. They don't usually say political. They do say satirical, because if the passage has irony, they will say satirical sometimes to just help you. They don't always, even if just because a passage has irony does not mean they will always say satirical. But if it does say satirical, you better be ready for irony. Okay, political is something that the College Board doesn't do. So UWorld is just sort of making this up here. And then First Secretary Vladimir is interviewing Agent Verloc. Now, First Secretary, I don't know why they didn't capitalize it, but when I read the blurb, I already know that I have a political figure. First Secretary should be capitalized. This is a figure, okay? Like a high-ranking authority in the government. And there is a secret agent, Mr. Verloc, okay? I don't know which country we're in, which is kind of annoying. First Secretary is not a term that we use in the U.S. So I honestly think UWorld should have written this better to let us know. But on the real test, they definitely will clarify. It'll be something like Russian First Secretary, all capitals, Mr. Vladimir, is interviewing secret agent Mr. Verloc. And right now, the blurb doesn't tell us which side they're on. Okay, is Mr. Verloc working for Russia or are they not working for Russia? Now, the College Board can do that. The College Board may not tell you which side they're on, and so what is your job as a reader? Your job is to figure out who's on whose side, right? Literally, I get all this information from just reading the first 3 lines. Now, do I spend 45 seconds on this? No, it literally happens in like 10 seconds. I'm just reading this, 1907, political, first secretary, secret agent, Russian name, maybe French name, French over here, So I'm figuring this out, okay? 15 seconds or less. Now I'm reading the rest of this passage trying to figure out who's doing what. So you began your connection with us. Okay, Verloc is the so you is the Verloc. I am 90% sure, 99% sure actually at this point. And Vladimir is probably Russia because of the name, but that's background knowledge that the College Board would normally supply you with that information. I just know it because of background. So the Russian government is talking, Vladimir is talking, connection with us. At this point, I already did, guys, all of the hard work. I haven't even read this question, but I already know that the only reason this question would be hard is because you didn't do this work. Now that I've done all of this sorting out, this passage is going to be super easy for me to read. Here we go. Verloc, connection with us by stealing French gun designs. You were caught. That must have been disagreeable to our government. You don't seem to be very smart. Verloc is trying to excuse himself, exculpate himself. Fatal infatuation for an unworthy. Weird paragraphing. This should be next to this or something. Something's very strange with this paragraphing. It's actually really strange. I don't know if that's how they actually wrote that, okay? This should be here, but anyway. Mr. Vladimir raised a large white plump hand. Ah, yes, the unlucky attachment of your youth. There's a she. There's a girl that's involved with Mr. Verloc. The doleful change in his physiognomy, confess such was the regrettable case. So Verloc was sold out by some person that he loved. Okay, and so the question is, how does Verloc respond? With shame. The prediction is here. Doleful, if you know the word doleful means sad, kind of regretful, and then momentary drooping is he's ashamed, and this is regrettable, so it means that he is responding with shame. My prediction is Mr. Verloc responds with shame. Regrets, correct. This is despite his belief, incorrect. That doesn't come out in the passage. Attempts to deny, nope. Infatuate, no. Expresses through body language that is suggesting to. Okay, now I have to read this suggesting to woman that a woman is to blame. Wait, that's despite. What? Okay, now I have to double check. All right. I didn't find a match. I didn't find a match for my answer. I didn't find a perfect match for my prediction. I found a partial match here and a partial match here. What do I do at this point? I'm gonna do. I'm gonna double check every word now in A, every word in B, every word in C, every word in D. What is this called? This is process elimination. Here we go. He regrets letting his infatuation influence him, despite his belief that it was a circumstance beyond his control. I mean, this belief doesn't come out, but let me just double check. As I've had occasion to observe before, fatal infatuation. This is kind of like a little accusation. Oh, no, he does confess this. Okay, he confesses. A fatal infatuation. Well, I'm going to guess UWorld is saying that A is the correct answer, but that is not fully defensible, okay? If UWorld says that A is the right answer, then they wrote this poorly. I'm going to go with B now. He attempts to deny his infatuation despite his insistence that he not speak. No, yeah, obviously the opposite. My bad. I just sort of zoned out because I was still thinking about A. C. He states that his infatuation led to a betrayal despite knowing. UWorld could say that C is correct. Hang on, let me see. Led to a betrayal. He does state it. It's true that he does suggest it. I wouldn't use the word state because he doesn't state that it specifically led to a betrayal, although he confirms it with his body. And then this whole, despite knowing the risk of, like this could be awkwardly defensible using this last paragraph, but that is not that would not fly on the College Board SAT. So this is poorly written, but now I'm starting to think that UWorld thinks that C is the correct answer. Yeah, and then the word despite is wrong because logically this is actually supporting the body language. So, oh wow. Does UWorld think C is the right answer? Keshav, let me know because I I think that UWorld thinks that C is the right answer. But because D, the word despite, is logically the opposite of what's happening in the actual passage. And the belief that it was beyond his control could be awkwardly defensible with this fatal word, but it would not be good. The word fatal doesn't imply this whole thing, okay? The word fatal is not strong enough to oh my god. So if UWorld chose D, then they have somebody who literally cannot logic this passage. If UWorld chose A, they are, and then if UWorld thinks that A is correct, then UWorld is making this word fatal out to mean way too much. Right? The word fatal cannot defend this whole thing. So that's ridiculous. Dude, UWorld, you cannot choose D. That's ridiculous. He expresses his failure through body language. By the way, this is the one that my prediction matches right away. But this word despite, oh my god, is just it's not the right reading. Like if it just literally said after, if it said after, it would be fine. He expresses his failure through his body languages after initially suggesting that it was someone else's fault. Right, that's fine, but despite is... You should not use the word despite there. Okay. I think it's just poorly written. I think it's really poorly written. All right. I will, yes. Where's D? But ultimately, see, they add this word but. Bro. No, dude, as I've had occasion to observe before, this is continuous. Dude, they're just misreading it. I think they're misreading it and wording it poorly, and they're choosing a word that definitely will throw people off. All right, I have a meeting in 5 minutes, so I gotta go. Earlier, partners actually never followed up on my question to him, so sorry, partners. Gonna move on. I've said my spiel around UWorld. I think this question was just poorly written, and even the explanation isn't fully defensible. That word despite is really a mess, and and I think if you're confused by the despite, then I think you're fine. And over here, Amit, I'm sorry. This one looks like it would take a lot of brain power to do, so I can't do it right now. But I'm happy to follow up on this conversation. If people reply to Amit. Share with each other. Actually, it's not really for me. It's really for you guys. Share with each other your best thinking on this question, and I'll swoop by. Maybe not tonight, but maybe tomorrow. I'll swoop by and see what's up with this question in the Discord server. Okay, I'll see you guys. I know that I've been pretty inactive for the last 4 months. Actually, it's really only 2 months. I know I've been pretty inactive for the last 2 months. My life was a little bit more chaotic than I expected. Even though I thought I would have a lot of time to just focus on work, it was a little insane. So, but I am getting a hold of it now. So you can expect me to be more active on YouTube and Discord. I will define exactly what my commitments are soon, and I'll publish my new sort of schedule of things on Discord and on YouTube. Amit, so I replied to Amit. Partners, you wrote a bunch of chats for me, but sorry, I gotta go. I have a meeting really soon. I have to prep. So, partners, if you're not used to Discord, if you're not in the server, okay, then I recommend just put that all into one comment and paste it as a comment into this stream, or just join the Discord server. And if you're a total newcomer, you won't have access to the other channels. So just come to the newcomers chat here, and just paste your question out in the newcomers chat. All right, guys, gotta go. Good to chat with you guys. Stay healthy. Keep on learning. Keep on growing. Peace.